Hi, my name's Jenna, and my group is discussing memory, more specifically cognition and how information is stored and retrieved throughout the brain. One way to describe our use of memory is through the use of a computer system. Within our brain, we use an encoding system that allows us to process information. We then retain this information using something called storage. Then, we eventually are able to use this information throughout retrieval. Many psychologists have composed different processing models when it comes to memory. One specific model, created by Richard Atkinson and Richard Schifrin, go to explain that we form memories by: first, we use sensory memory, which is a very brief way we record information into our memory system. Next, we process this information into short-term memory through rehearsal, which can also be known as working memory, which is described as a better understanding of short-term memory that mainly focuses on conscious information. Finally, this information then moves into long-term memory, where it can later be retrieved. Through the use of encoding, we use something called parallel processing, which is the capability of doing many things at once. Meanwhile, we also use automatic processing, which allows for us to encode incidental information such as time, space, and frequency. On the other hand, effortful processing is during the process of retaining information. This process requires focus and attention. Once we have gone through effortful processing, we can help our memory with the use of rehearsal, which is repetition of information to help encode it for storage. One phenomenon that supports the idea of rehearsal is the serial position effect. This is demonstrated by showing people a list of items and then asking them to recall these items in any order. The results show that most people were able to recall items on the beginning and end of the list compared to the middle of the list. This exemplifies that the first items on the list are in a state of a primacy effect. Meanwhile, the items at the end of the list are in a state of recency effect. Throughout processing, we use different levels of processing, such as acoustic, semantic, and visual encoding, which allows us to encode the sound of words, the meaning of words, and pictures. These levels of encoding were created by Poldrunk and Wagner, and they each use a different brain system, each helping us in different ways. In one experiment done by Craik and Tolving, they flashed a word at people, then would ask a question, making them process it by using one of three levels. Throughout encoding, we create a different way to help remember information. One way this is demonstrated is through the use of mnemonics, which allows for us to organize information. We can also use chunking, which helps us organize items in familiar units. For example, the color of the rainbow, Roy G. Biv. Another way to help remember information is the use of hierarchies, which have a few broad concepts that can be divided into narrow facts and specific details. Stress and hormones can also have a large impact on our memory as well. One way this is shown is by flashbulb memories, which are considered to be a clear memory of an emotionally significant moment. While these are well known for their vividness, misinformation can also be quickly added into them. Another thing that can affect memory is amnesia, where people are unable to form new memories. This is caused by brain trauma or damage. Although this can be detrimental to your memory, there are things that can be learned to help these symptoms. By learning implicit and explicit memory, they can help you by consciously knowing facts and experiences. These explicit can be displayed in the hippocampus, which is located in the limbic system and helps process and store explicit memories. Meanwhile, implicit memories can be shown in the cerebellum, located in the rear of the brainstem. This helps with storing and forming implicit memories. Another major part of our memory is retrieval, which allows for us to take out this stored information and encode it and use it. Some ways we can help the process of retrieval is by using retrieval cues. One retrieval cue, also known as priming, which is the activation of specific associations within our memory, can help by quickly retrieving a specific memory within our web of associations. Mood and memory can also affect our retrieval cues. One example of this is how events in our past can arouse specific emotion, later allowing us to recall events associated with that arousal. Our mood can also affect our retrieval and can help explain why our moods persist. One example of this can be shown by when we are sad, we recall sad events, causing us to believe that the world is a sad place, which prolongs our bad mood. Something that can also happen throughout retrieval is retrieval failure. This is mainly caused by proactive and retroactive interference. Proactive interference is the effect of prior learning being disrupted due to new information. Meanwhile, retroactive interference is the effect of new learning being disrupted due to old information. These interferences can cause minor things to be passed by, but this can also cause frustration, as old information can sometimes help when learning new information. These interferences can also lead to motivated forgetting. Motivated forgetting can lead us to repress our memories, which is also known as a defense mechanism that bans anxiety-arousing thoughts and feelings. This potentially leads to the misinformation effect that can cause misleading information into a specific story or event. These things can quickly alter your memory, creating a sense of false belief and causing you to believe things that may have never happened. Something similarly related to the misinformation effect can be known as source amnesia. This is known when you attribute the wrong information into an event that you may have heard or imagined. Sometimes our memory can lead us to believe false memories and things that are not true, and this is why our memory is something that can't always be heavily relied on when it comes to important situations.